So, a little bit about the mitzvah of Sipur Shir Sisrael. So I'm going to say over a famous of Chaim. Every night of the year, there's a mitzvah of Zechiras Yitzias Mitzrayim. We say in the Shema, right? In the end of the Shema. So, the famous kasha is, why is this night different than all other nights? And we're not going to ask four reasons why this night is different than any other night. Okay, this is longer than my friend Rabbi Yehuda. My nitoisif below Pesach, the mitzvah Sipur Shir Sisrael. Why is this night different than any other night? Every night there's a mitzvah of Shir Sisrael. So why do we make a big deal about Seder night? Every night there's a mitzvah of Shir Sisrael. So we're going to say over the Chaim. Chaim says that there are three differences between the mitzvah of Zechiras Yitzias Mitzrayim and the mitzvah of Sipur Yitzias Mitzrayim. The first difference is to be Mekayim, the mitzvah of Zechira. Person only has to mention it himself. You mention Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. Right? When you say the Shema, there's no din you have to say Shema in public, right? In the town square, you say Shema by yourself. I mean, you're supposed to be davening
by yourself also.
So, the mitzvah of Zechira you have to do by yourself. Avo b'tzibur Yitzias Mitzrayim ha mitzvah hu lesapir la'acher derech chayil and tshuva. We're going to answer your question in a second. It's a very good question. We're going to answer it. Problem is when you have a learned crowd, sometimes they ask questions, but I can handle it. Good question. We're going to answer that. So the first difference between Zechira and Sipur is Zechira you just have to mention it to yourself, but by Sipur Yisrael it has to be b'derech shayla and tshuva, saying it over, question and answer period. Ask the rabbi session. You say it over b'derech and tshuva, as it says in the pasuk. When your son asks you, what's this whole story here? So you tell him the story of Yitzias Mitzrayim. Now, you're right, Shlomo. There is a din that you have to say over the story even when you're by yourself. But even when you're by yourself, you don't just say the story, you have to say it over b'derech chayil and tshuva. The Haggadah, the format of the Haggadah is b'derech chayil and tshuva, question and answer. Even when you're by yourself, you still have to say it over b'derech chayil and tshuva, ki'ilu, as if there's somebody there. Maybe we'll see tonight. Maybe we'll explain this word a little bit better. But to answer your question, so Chaim is right. The first difference between Zechira and Sipur, Zechira is by yourself. Sipur is you tell it over to another person.
You have to. What if you're eating the Seder by yourself?
That's what someone asked.
I know.
So the answer is, even when you're by yourself, you still say over the text of the Haggadah the way we have it.
What good does that do? What's the point of doing that?
No
one can hear you.
Torah tells you that you say it over.
That's obvious.
B'derech shayla and tshuva.
Record it for Torah anytime.
So even when you're by yourself, you still say it over b'derech shayla and tshuva, as if there's somebody else there with the question and answer format. So that's the first difference between Zechira throughout the whole year and Sipur Yitzias Mitzrayim on the night of Pesach. Oh, he says that. Afilu im echad levado, even if a person's by himself. So he has to ask himself. As if there's somebody else there. You still say over the questions. Why is this night different than any other night? And then you answer why this night is different than any other night. And the whole story of that. So the difference between Zechira and Sipur is small. Zechira is by yourself, and Sipur is to other people. Even when you're by yourself, you still say it over ki'ilu as if there's somebody else there. Maybe we'll explain this a little bit later. The next difference between Zechira and Sipur is, but Sipur, when you tell over a story, so the halacha is, based on the Gemara, you're maschel b'gnus or you're sayim b'shevach. We start off talking about the disgrace of the Jewish people, and we end off with the greatness, b'sheva, great things. But by the mitzvah of Zechira, throughout the whole year, there is no such obligation of maschil b'gnus, to start off in the low period of the Jewish people and to end off in the high period of the Jewish people. That halacha is not applied throughout the whole year. Second chiluk between Zechira and Sipur is that Zechira just mentions Yis Mitzrayim. You don't have this obligation of maschil b'gnus v'sayim mishvach, but by Seder we do have.
But that was the second reason. Yeah,
That's the second reason.
Okay, fine.
First reason, Shmuel tells Shlomo the first reason.
Why we sit?
The difference between Zechira and Sipur.
You just say it to yourself. No one has to hear you, right?
Correct. That was the first difference. Zechira is by yourself, Sipur is acher. It's another person. Second difference is Zechira just say it over the story.
So wait, but to yourself or in your brain, in your mind?
The first difference was
No, I know the first difference.
The difference between yourself and saying it over to other people, or just saying it yourself. Second difference now is that Sipur has a requirement. Sipur requires maskil b'gnus v'sayim b'shvach. Zechira doesn't require that. If you look at the Shema, it doesn't say anything about maskil b'gnus v'sayim b'shvach. Third difference between Sipur and Zechira. We say in the Haggadah, anybody who does not say over these three things and explains the three things, that's the ikka point, and explains the three things, you are not Makayim the Mitzvah. So the third difference is, yeah.
So during the Pesach Seder, I think it's very typical. Like for example, in my family, the whole family gets around the table, and one person is saying over the story. Am I also obligated to say over the story?
Yes, supposed to say the word. Yes.
Because we usually take turns saying part of the Haggadah, like
right. But even when it's not your turn, you're still supposed to say every word. Correct.
Out loud?
Yeah, they do that to make it interesting. So
Yeah, I know.
Same with Manish Shana, so even though somebody's saying Manish Shana, you're supposed to still say Manish Shana.
Yeah, still say the word.
But no one
say
can hear
lower.
you. No one can
Right,
hear
you say it lower. But there is still a zach, mitzvah, to say each word of the Haggadah.
Good to know.
Now, the third thing is, again, I was saying, is that you're supposed to say over the tam of mitzvah, the reason behind the mitzvah. Okay? If you look in the Haggadah, we say Pesach Matzah Mor, and then we explain the significance of Pesach Matzah Mor. Okay, so that's the third difference. Is that during the year by Zechira, you just mention the story, but by Sipur, there's details. You have to say over the mitzvahs halayla, you have to explain that. So I'm just going to end this piece by showing that this is in the Rambam itself. These three chilukim, the differences between Zechira and Sipur, you can find in the Rambam
You
itself.
also have to consider yourself.
As if you're leaving Mitzrayim. Very good. That you don't have by Zechira. Very good. And the fourth difference. Very good. If you look in the Rambam, in the Perek Zayin, he says, mitzvahs aseh min Torah. There's a mitzvah from the Torah. The sapir b'nisim of laws, to tell over the story, the greatness, the miracles, and the wonders that Hashem did for us when we left Mitzrayim on the 15th day of Nisan.
I just thought of another one.
The Rambam says, mitzvah al-hodiya levanim. There's a mitzvah to tell over this story, not just to yourself, to your children. Shenem avagad levincha. Okay, let's skip a little bit. Ein lo ben, you don't have a son. Ishto sha'aloso. Then your wife asks you the question. Hoya levada, let's say by yourself. Shara la'atzmo. Then you ask yourself the question. But the point is, the Rambam is saying very clearly this idea that the difference between Zechira and Sipur is, the first difference that we said is that it has to be that you tell over to somebody else. Even when you're by yourself, you pretend that somebody else is.
There's also
The Rambam says also, because of Sham, and you should start off negative the denigration of Jewish people, and you end with the greatness of Jewish people. Again, the Rambam showing you the difference between Zechira and Sipur, that by Zechira, you just mention the story of B'tzitz Yisrael and Weiter. But by Sipur, they're details. The details is, you start off with the bad parts, negative, denigrating parts of the Jewish people, and you end off with the positive, how great we became. Third thing, and then we'll take the questions. The third difference between Zechira and Sipur, the Rambam says next. The Rambam says, "Call me shalom pesach. Anybody who does not say over these three things, the Pesach, Matzah, and Maror, and explains them, would not say the mitzvah of Haggadah." What do you see? The third difference that Chaim says between Zechira and Sipur. Zechira just tell over the story and Weiter. Sipur requires you to say over the story and the explanation of the story. Why we have Pesach, why we have Matzah, why we have Mo. I just want to end off. According to this, we paskin that l'chachila for sure. Mitzvah is kavanah. By mitzvah d'oraisa, you have to have kavanah. Now, there are two mitzvahs out of the Raisa by the Seder. Eating of the matzah and the sipur. The Mower is the Abana, the Kosh is the Abana. The second mitzvah of the Raisa is Sipur Shis Yisrael. So, you should have in mind all these three things. When you tell over the story of Shis Yisrael, you should have in mind these three differences between Sipur and Zechira. The difference that you want to be the kind of mitzvah of Sipur Shis Yisrael properly. You have in mind the difference between Sipur and Zechira. You have in mind that you're explaining the mitzvahs. You have in mind that you're also going to do Maskeh B'Gnus B'Sayim B'Shvach, start off in the negative and end off in the positive. And of course, you have in mind that the mitzvah of Sipur is different than Zechira. Sipur requires you to tell over to somebody else, and Zechira does not require you to say over to somebody else. You have these three things in mind when you are Makayim the mitzvah.